Chapter 11, Rescue. Back at the lair, Leo, Mikey, Donnie, April, and the rest of the girls were watching some Krognard. Suddenly, Raph, Casey, Sunset, Rainbow, and Applejack ran in.
Leo! Guys!
Raph called.
We got a problem.
Applejack called.
What is it, guys?
Leo asked as the group got up.
Huh? Where's Rarity?
Twilight asked, seeing no sign of her.
We were fighting the purple dragons, and then the footbots dropped in and took off with her.
Casey answered.
What?
Spike and Pinky both gasped in shock.
Oh no.
Fluttershy gasped in worry.
We have to find her.
April stated. The group nodded as Sunset turned to Donnie.
Donnie, can you trace the signal on Rarity's phone?
Already on it.
Donnie answered as he used his T-phone.
Let's go.
Leo called as the group took off. Meanwhile, back at the warehouse, as Rarity was still trying to cut herself free from her rope bindings, she spoke out to Hun and the other dragons.
Could you please turn up the heat in here? It's chilly.
It's fine to us.
Hun answered.
Just asking.
Rarity replied.
And since we're on the topic of this hideout, you purple dragons are in desperate need of a designer. I mean, if I was living here, I would give this place a little more color and pizzazz. Something you boys know nothing about.
Fong spoke.
Hey, we like how it looks. And I'm getting tired of your whining.
Sid added. Rarity frowned and tightened her eyes at the big member.
Oh, this isn't whining. But if you want whining, I'll give you whining.
The dragons were concerned by the threat until Rarity cried in a whiny voice.
These ropes are too tight, and this chair is too cold. I'm starving, and my nose itches.
She whined some more about minimal things, as Fong, Sid, and Soy were covering their ears trying to drown her out, while Hun just rolled his eyes. Elsewhere, the Turtles, April, Casey, and the rest of the Rainbooms were jumping roofs as Donnie was tracking the signal.
Anything, Donnie?
Leo asked.
We're getting close. Just have to keep going at this pace.
The genius answered.
Then let's pick it up!
Mikey said as they continued.
If those guys are Rarity, I'm gonna...
Spike barked, only for Twilight to cut him off.
We'll find her, Spike. We have to.
She said as they hurried. Back at the warehouse, the door opened and Fishface and Tigerclaw entered, followed by 2 rows of footbots. Rarity watched and saw them, knowing who was coming next. Shredder walked into the warehouse as the footbots, Fishface, and Tigerclaw bowed their heads to him.
Welcome, Master Shredder.
Hun bowed his head in respect.
I trust you to remain true to your word.
He asked.
Of course, my lord.
Hun assured him. Shredder then looked over and saw Fong, Sid, and Soy cowering in a corner while covering their ears.
What are they doing?
You don't want to know.
Hun answered.
Please, allow me to show you our cap.
He then led the Shredder to the center of the room where Rarity sat. The fashion girl gasped in fright as Shredder towered over her. He glared down on her with his normal eye and his scarred eye.
So you are one of the Rainbow Girls.
Rarity answered nervously.
Well, yes. I'm Rarity. And I assume you're the Shredder.
She winced. Shredder answered by making the blades on both his gauntlets extend. Rarity's eyes widened in fright.
Okay, that answers that.
Shredder spoke.
The Dazzling said you and your friends were nothing but trouble. So far, I am not seeing it.
He said in disappointment. Rarity frowned.
There's more to me and my friends than meets the eye.
It is true, Master.
Fishface agreed, still feeling shaken from Fluttershy's stare. Shredder looked back at Fishface, eye frowning.
We shall see.
He answered. Rarity, feeling her ropes loosening from her cutting, knew she could slip out.
Yes, we shall!
She called, before surprising the Shredder with a kick to the stomach. Shredder, taken by surprise, backed up a bit from the impact. Rarity made the chair fall backwards, and she rolled off it before standing up. She pulled out her sickle weapons and stood ready. She smirked. The Shredder growled, and then turned to his minions.
Get her!
Fishface, Tiger Claw, and the Footbots went on the attack. Rarity started fighting against the Footbots with no problem. But when Fishface and Tiger Claw joined in, then it was looking tough. Rarity was dodging Tiger Claw's 2 blaster shots, while Fishface ran up to her and fought using his 2 butterfly knives.
Ugh, I'm not a fan of seafood.
She kicked the fish mutant in the face, making him back away. Tiger Claw then jumped in and pulled out his large sword.
What? Now you face me, little cub.
He growled before charging her. Outside the building, the group arrived on the roof as Donnie spoke.
This is the place.
Look!
Mikey spoke as the group looked down through the rooftop window. They saw Rarity desperately defending herself against Tiger Claw and Fishface.
Rarity!
Spike gasped.
She can't take Tiger Claw and Fishface on her own.
Leo said.
And they're the least of her worries.
Donnie said as they saw who was watching the fight.
Shredder.
The turtles gasped. Twilight looked down, seeing the Shredder, and gasped. As her dream vision came back to her, she groaned from the memory before Leo spoke.
Are you alright?
I'm fine, but we need to help Rarity.
She answered. Back inside, Rarity was still defending herself against the 2 mutants. Things only got worse when Hun of the Dragons jumped in, and through their combined strength, knocked Rarity off her feet and onto the ground. Tiger Claw and Fishface placed a foot each on her arms, pinning her to the ground. Tiger Claw spoke.
You have lost.
Shredder then approached and looked down on her.
Splinter has taught you well, but he is a fool for trading you and your friend.
Rarity frowned.
Fool or not, at least he had what you did not deserve.
Shredder, knowing what the girl was talking about, bellowed.
Silence!
Rarity shook as Shredder turned to Tiger Claw.
Finish her!
Yes, master.
Tiger Claw then aimed one of his blasters down at her. Rarity then trembled, feeling that this was the last of her. Until the window glass shattered, and the turtles, the Rainbooms, April, and Casey jumped in. Leo and Raph knocked Tiger Claw and Fishface off of Rarity, so she could get up and retrieve her sickles. Twilight and Sunset ran to her.
Rarity, are you okay?
Sunset asked.
I am now, thanks.
She answered. Shredder saw the turtles glare at him.
Once again you come right to me.
He noticed the girls.
And these must be the rest of the Rainbow.
Guilty as charged!
Pinky grinned.
And you must be the Shredder.
Rainbow tightened her eyes. Shredder then pointed his gauntlets at them.
You never should have come to this city and get yourselves involved in a fight that does not concern you.
Twilight spoke.
We know that you're allied with our enemies, so that does concern us.
Yes, the Dazzlings have told me much about you and your friends, Princess. Shame they cannot be here at the moment to watch you fall at my hands.
It's you who will be falling before us!
Leo called as the heroes went into battle once again. The Rainbooms, Casey, and April took fight against the remaining Footbots, the Purple Dragons, Tiger Claw, and Fishface. The Turtles went up against the Shredder, using all their skills against him. As Rarity and Applejack fought side by side against Sid and Fong, the country girl spoke.
How do you manage to get green?
I improvised.
Rarity answered as the 2 knocked the 2 Purple Dragons out. Pinky was jumping over Fishface's kicks before she reached into her hair and pulled out a cream pie.
Hey!
She then threw the pie at the mutant's face, covering him with the cream. Fishface was blinded by the cream in his face and stumbled around. He stumbled right into Tiger Claw and ended up tripping the tiger as he fell flat. Rainbow, who was fighting Hun alongside Casey, spoke.
Good one, Pinky.
Look out!
Casey called as he shoved Rainbow aside, avoiding a blow from Hun. The vigilante skated around Hun, using his hockey stick and pucks to pelt the gang leader. Rainbow, seeing Hun distracted by Casey, ran over and used her naginata to trip Hun off his feet. Casey and Rainbow smirked and high-fived on their teamwork. As the rest of the group took down the Footbots, Rarity looked over and saw the Turtles fighting Shredder. The evil ninja was ready to strike a blow at Leo with his bladed gauntlet. But the girl acted fast. She threw one of her sickles. The sickle ended up striking the side of Shredder's gauntlet, making his punch shift in direction. Leo, taking advantage of this, struck Shredder, making him fly back and land on the ground. The Turtles ran back to the group as Leo spoke.
We'll be back.
Adios.
Mikey threw a smoke bomb, enabling them to escape. The Shredder looked around and saw pieces of Footbots scattered across the floor, as well as his two minions and the purple dragons knocked unconscious. The Shredder then shouted in frustration.
No!
The group returned to the lair where they all rested up.
I can't believe we got out of there.
Fluttershy said in disbelief.
Well, I can. We're awesome.
Rainbow boasted until Splinter approached.
I am glad to see you all are okay.
He then looked over to the fashion girl.
Especially you, Rarity.
Thank you, Sensei.
She thanked him.
That Shredder. When I looked him in the eye, I felt as if all I could see was hatred. I felt that way too when I looked at him.
Twilight admitted.
I can't believe one man could be filled with so much hate.
Fluttershy added.
I don't think any of my classic parties put a smile on his face.
Pinky put in.
Very few have faced a confrontation with the Shredder and lived. You girls were fortunate that my sons were there.
The rat explained.
If he's capable of fighting like that, who knows what the Dazzlings could be capable of under his belt?
Sunset feared.
Looks like we're really going to have to train even harder should we run into them.
Applejack said.
Yes, but do not train so hard that you wear yourselves out. I tried that when I feared my sons facing the Shredder, and made them work past their limits. I will not let you do that to yourselves. We shall continue to train at our own pace. For now.
Splinter warned them.
Yes, Sensei.
The girls agreed. When Master Splinter left, Rainbow spoke.
Wow, Rarity! I can't believe you actually got to hit the Shredder.
Well, it didn't really affect him so much. But still to have been able to land a blow like that felt so exhilarating.
She said in nostalgia.
And you really helped me back there when Shredder almost had me.
Leo added.
Girl, you are the bomb.
Mikey cheered. Rarity did a flip of her hair.
Naturally, it's how I am.
She winked.